Hello, welcome back! Happy first Pride! Let's just say it right away and get it over with the right away. I never wanted to use this format, but I see it's almost an unwritten rule of internet that trans women use this format. So I reluctantly conformed. I was born as a boy in 1992, at the time even though there was nothing wrong with being gay, and I was that now it's called an ally. Still, at the question, are you gay? The answer was still, what the fuck are you talking about? Not that it was inappropriate, I repeat, but I will never admit to being gay, even if in my case I was true. And then followed to the typical phrase, even though there would be nothing wrong with that, but if I could avoid being insulted and beaten up the school, it would be better. It was still an insult, a bit of taboo to talk about it. Even though my parents are allies, yes, they are that friend with that kind of people, but partially out on the shame and partly out on the politeness, even if I was curious, I never ask, excuse me, what does it mean to be gay? My parents aren't transphobic, but they are the type of people who, not in my house, or ha 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 ha, what a laugh, gay people, which is the same discriminatory thing to me. And they didn't even know trans people exist. My only memory of something like that, perhaps, is when I saw a man in a station, and if I remember correctly, with a bitter bird, a curling red wing, and a woman dress. I look at him for a second, out of curiosity, but when he started to look at me, I looked away. Still to do this day, I mainly out of the politeness, because staring is always been rude. I don't know if was a trans person who was doing the 6-month period to get accredited for the HRT. Yeah, that shitty law certainly existed at the time, at least in Italy. I don't know if it was a cross-dresser or if it was someone doing a parody. The fact when I asked my mother, she said there are men who like dress as women. And this is obviously the worst answer to give to a child, and clearly with a great embarrassment. Now, things are definitely easier online. We talk freely about everything. There are open communities that accept and talk about it publicly and advise even difference between cross-dressers and femboys. But do people really understand? I'm not very feminine because I'm chose and chubby and therapy hasn't done much yet, but I dress like that, I act like that, I put on makeup and I'm myself most of the time. Because I look in a mirror and I don't see a man, I don't see a woman, but I see a trans person, and I'm happy like that. So when people call me boy or use the masculine form, yes, it pisses me off. I feel bad, but it's their fault. If I dress like a woman, put on makeup, act feminine and sound feminine, you look at me and say, okay boy, you don't understand shit. I hear so many people say online, cis people doesn't understand anyway, what the fuck are you wasting your breath on? They see you as a butch or as a femboy, and I ask you, oh why? You didn't like be feminine or feminine stuff? I absolutely agreed with you, sister. You are right to stay away from those who treat you badly, even by mistake, and only hang out with these who make you feel good, who understand and who are like you. Something I think so too. But it's the easiest way out of the often leads to hatred, superiority and self-ghettoize. If this is English, I'm not even sure. In Italian this works. We don't always have the strength or the desire to be champions of our right on those of the chaos. and we don't even want to be seen as crazy people. But as a common person, I always wanted to be considered normal, common, and I still want it. I prefer to be whistled and interrupted as a woman than to be targeted as by an insult a trans person. And they're both plug anyway. I didn't have a typical trans childhood, I admit. I wasn't a Transformer fan. I like video games, girls, and superheroes. Sometimes I want to buy feminine shoes, but no one would be buy them for me. Sometimes I was paranoid about wanting to buy girls' toys, but my mother will throw it out the window to make me understand that was common. But it wasn't common. You know, I'm asexual, genderfluid, spectrum, but I don't say, even if I throw I am, but I'll explain it to another video. My current gender expression is femboys, sometimes androgynous, and my sexuality is still confused because in my life I considered girls lover. Now I have a boyfriend and my neurodivergence make me change attitude, taste, and even dysphoria in a different way every day, so it's difficult to define me. My reasoning is there's no point I'm pretending to be something I'm not now and act as I want what suits me best. If one day I'll be more feminine, I'll decide to change. Perhaps with hair, dress or the other gender expression. Fact remain that half a woman can wear jeans, have a short haircut, and other stereotypes that are part of male world, so it would be nice to always be the same and always busy to express ourselves to others in a few words. But we don't always have the strength, and telling someone who doesn't understand to go fuck themselves is allowed from time to time. I do this most of in a phone call rather than here, because it's more easy. But when we have the strength and the will, it's worth taking a breath and teaching these people what they are doing wrong and why. If you just say impose, maybe you'll find an ally who will parrot your word, but when an intelligent opponent asks question about it, they won't know how to answer. If you make them understand how bad you feel, they will make you an effort not to do it again. Or might find a troll who doesn't that exact opposite that to annoying you. They're not bad, they're just, troll. Then there are the hopeless case in the that you tell you are disgusting, you must die, you're mentally ill, and then maybe there you can get the best wishes for a tete-a-tete with a bus with a blind driver. I don't think being trans is a mental illness, but it's a problem at the root. Yes, a social problem that can be fixed easily and isn't that serious. Yeah, fuck off, that's my opinion, I'm trans, I can say... Oh, just maybe, lost in translation, bitch. Sorry, I don't know how to end in an easy way. I wanted to include a positive message and final thought, but I simply can't. Those who support trans women say you're strong because you have the courage to be yourself. No, I think we can't help being ourselves, but being a woman sucks. For real. And last, they call trans men mister, they don't interrupt them, they don't push children out of the way in the middle of the street, so they don't meet our gazes. But now, I've been undergoing therapy almost for a year. I can't help but I feel like myself. If I go to the store and see tampon on sale, they become a small priority. You will say it's a habit, what the fuck are you talking about? What a habit is? I can't have my vaginal menstrual period. What kind of habit could be? Getting emotional at random, crying over trivial things, and finally feeling happy is common. So, happy Pride Month, everyone! Follow me and so for more. Bye!